Hey guys, welcome to part 4 of our series, Why Faith Attracts Heaven. Today we are in Acts, kind of chapter 8, chapter 9. We're talking about Paul, who was formerly known as Saul, and we're talking about him at the time he was Saul, because when he was Saul, he actually had a lot of faith. Here's what I believe. I believe faith, period, like even misplaced faith attracts the supernatural. I spent 7 years in Taiwan and China. Man, I saw a temple on every street corner. And the people I interacted with, including and especially the people who did not believe in Jesus, but they were Buddhists or Taoists mostly, they had incredible levels of faith. I mean, they had little altars in their homes. They sacrificed almost daily, did the different things that they did in their homes related to their faith and their religion. Their faith and the way that they acted out and to the degree they believed it was much stronger and much higher than most of the people I knew and knew of growing up in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Bible Belt, of the United States of America. So faith, to me, appeared to be much greater in a non-Christian country. It just was not faith in the same thing that I believed. It was faith in something else. And to kind of add to the scenario, the story here, the supernatural showed up more often in more tangible, more visible ways in Taiwan, both for Christians and non-Christians, than you ever see it happen here. And I believe that is because faith, period, faith in whatever, just having faith in the supernatural attracts the supernatural. Now, there's good supernatural and bad supernatural, but either way, faith, I believe, is what attracts it. I've got plenty of stories, but one is something I've told you guys before. My wife, when she was 18 is when she became a Christian, and it was because her aunt who lived with her family in Taiwan, there's no other explanation about it, must have been demon possessed because 5 men could not hold her down, and she was an older lady. She slept during the day and stayed awake all night. I mean, clearly something was wrong with her. And her family actually owns a Taoist temple, and they tried to get the priest to get out the thing they believed was in her. I mean, they believed in the supernatural. In my opinion, they just believed in the wrong supernatural, right? They believed in the bad guys, not the good guys, in my opinion, right? But the faith was there and they experienced it. In fact, my wife became a Christian because in a dream, a figure that she now knows as Jesus visited her and told her the directions to a church, and she'd never even heard of Jesus or church. And she went to the church and they prayed for her and she got free of her fear of all this that was going on, right? So I'm just saying faith either way attracts the supernatural, and I think that's what happened in Saul's case. I think Jesus picked Saul. Jesus showed up on the road to Damascus because he saw someone who had incredible level of faith. That was, in my opinion, and obviously in the Bible's opinion, it was misplaced faith, right? It was misplaced faith, but he demonstrated that he was very unlike the Pharisees because he did not appear to be in it for, himself, for his power, for his position, for the money he could cheat the people out of or anything like that. He was just very passionate about what he believed in. And I believe that caught the attention of God. I think God said, look, you've been doing this. Now you're going to work for me. You've been making people suffer. Now you'll suffer for me. And frankly, Saul had the kind of personality and mindset and passion probably where he said, all right, bring it on because I'm all in. That was his level of faith and belief. And as soon as he saw the truth, he switched. Look, as soon as the Pharisees saw the truth, they did not switch because they weren't about faith. They were about themselves, right? Paul was literally about faith. It was just in the Old Testament God, who is our Father as well, but he didn't believe that Jesus was the Messiah until Jesus showed up on the road to Damascus. How does it apply to us today and in this series? Here's what I'm saying. Look, we don't always have to be so timid about getting everything so right. I think more important than getting everything right and hearing perfectly from God is to say, God, I want to do my best. I want to hear from you. I want to head in the direction you want me to head, and I'm going to go all in. He doesn't want us just to stand on the outside of the pool or dip our toe in the water. He wants us to dive in. He wants us to be people of faith. He wants us to believe in the supernatural. He wants us to believe that if we head down a road with all of our passion, all of our heart, that he is big enough and great enough of a God to kind of adjust our direction and appear to us on the road to wherever we're headed and say, "Well, stop. I love who you are. I need to adjust where you're going and what you're doing and how you're directing that energy and passion." If we can believe that he'll do that, then you can go out of this, video, and you can go out of your house and live your life every day full bore, full on, 100% all in, and trust and know that if you're doing it with the right intention and desiring to follow, and if you're not doing it with the right intention like Saul was, but it's with a deep amount of faith, and it's not about you, but it's really about what you believe in to be true, that Jesus can show up and tell you the right way. So don't hesitate so much. Go in, be responsible, be wise, of course, but go for it. Go for what you believe. And if you're not even completely sure of it, still go for it and know that God will meet you on that road and adjust you where he needs to, but he's attracted to your faith. He's attracted to you diving into the deep end. He's attracted to you going all out and giving all of yourself. He loves to have all of you. So if you're giving all of you to something else, okay, he just needs to catch your attention and say, "Hey, let's redirect that to me." Just like he did with Saul. He can do that for you too. All right, thanks so much, guys. Talk to you again in part 5.